Okay, in this video I'd like to review getting clarification and I'd like to add some of the other skills that we talked about, like asking people to slow down and asking people to reformulate. Okay, we already covered clarification, getting clarification, and we already covered getting specific clarification with those special questions. So those are some other videos. I'd like to kind of review the situation. Maybe it's just one word or one phrase in the sentence that we didn't really hear or we didn't understand. Okay, for example, I might say, my boss was apoplectic. My boss was apoplectic. Okay, what? Okay, I don't understand the last word. Okay, so what are you going to do in that situation? You can say, I didn't understand the last word. Or, what was that last word? What was that last word? We might say, what did you say after was, in this case? My boss was blah, 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 blah. Okay, so sorry, what did you say after was? Of course, in another sentence, it might be, for example, I have to have my tonsils out. What? Sorry, what was the word before out? Okay, or something like that. So we can use after or before with the word that we did hear. Or if it's the last word, obviously that's easy. Could you repeat the last word? What was the last word? I didn't catch the last word. Okay, so I say apoplectic. And you say apoplectic? Did you say apoplectic? Getting close, but not quite. Yeah, kind of. Apoplectic. Apoplectic? Apoplectic. How are you going to understand the sound more clearly? Well, maybe you want to ask, how do you spell that? How do you spell that? Okay. Or even, could you write that down for me? Okay. The word I said was apoplectic. So now you can see the spelling and you can say the word apoplectic, but you still don't know the meaning. So what does apoplectic mean? Or what do you mean by apoplectic? Okay, this word is not so common and not so important. This is another UK word for very, very angry. So like furious or livid, which are other words that we also studied. But that's not so important. The word itself is not so important. What is important is getting clarification for a word that we didn't understand. Okay, we've looked at clarification language before. But it's just one tool in our toolkit. Okay? These other items are very important. Okay, you mustn't forget to ask, please slow down. Could you slow down a bit? If you ask me to repeat, could you repeat that? I'll say at the same speed, same speed, same speed, same speed. And it's still very difficult to hear. Could you slow down a bit? Okay. Another very useful technique that you must not forget is to use reformulation. If you say, could you slow down a bit? Could you repeat that? I will still say the same words, the same words, the same words each time. And you don't understand these words or this phrase. So reformulation is a very powerful tool for getting different words. And that's all this is, reformulation. Asking for reformulation. For example, could you say that in a different way? Could you put that in other words? Could you explain that in another way? Or any combination of those. Could you say that in a different way? Could you put that in other words? Could you explain that in another way? Or something like that. Okay, that's reformulation. Mustn't forget about reformulation. It's very, very powerful. Makes the other person think of changing this sentence to simpler language. Okay, so we've done slowing down, reformulation, and clarification, and then, I don't know if you can see this, but our most important phrase of all, I don't understand. And even after you get an explanation, I still don't understand. Very, very useful, very, very important, okay? They explain, you don't understand, not silence. We don't do silence, no silence, 2-second rule. You have to say, I don't understand, I still don't understand, I still don't get it. In which case, I'll probably try to reformulate or explain in a different way. Why is this so important? Because if you don't understand, it's your responsibility to say, I don't understand. But it's my responsibility to explain and make you understand. So if I say something and you don't understand, you just give it back to me. I don't understand. I still don't understand. I'm sorry, I still don't understand. I don't get it. I don't follow you. Okay? So those are our very useful tools for coping with basically any situation in English. And that's why I call this my Swiss Army knife of English. Okay. I don't know if you know about Swiss Army knives, but a Swiss Army knife is a red knife with many different useful tools. The new Swiss Army knives actually come with USB even. There's a USB stick inside a Swiss Army knife. And what I mean is that in any situation, okay, these tools are not perfect, but these tools will help you to survive in any situation. When you're talking to someone, talking to a native speaker, you never need an electronic dictionary. You never need an electronic dictionary because you always have your tools. And what are those tools? Asking someone to slow down, asking for reformulation, asking for clarification, and most importantly of all, if you still don't understand, you say, I still don't understand. This is your Swiss Army knife of English.